The hardest time for any new clinic is getting to the first 20 patients a week. Because once you get to 20 patients a week, then really it's just a patient retention issue. And that's the challenge that Alex had, was Alex was going into a brand new clinic, whereas Hannah was starting in an already established clinic. So same training, but very, very different problems to solve.
In the first few weeks, it was hard because obviously I started here and it was quite a new clinic. So there weren't many coming in. Initially, it was a lot of like free assessments, people not turning up for the first couple of weeks. So it was definitely hard as I was new and I kind of just wanted to get that experience of seeing people, just getting into the flow of like making the V and running through a full assessment. But once it picked up, it was a lot easier than it was. Been through some of the tests, we've figured out that we think it is kind of coming from that hamstring. What is your end goal in physio? What is it that you wanted to be able to do once you've completed your course? With half marathon. Okay. Did you say that was in May?
In May, yeah.
Okay. Lovely. And if we kind of start, then go back to the bottom. So we're saying a week's time. What would you want to be able to do, or what do you want to be able to feel like in a week's time that'll make you think you're on the sort of path?
Probably be able to walk without feeling my calf.
Walk, okay. How far would you want to be able to walk?
Well, at the moment, I'm feeling that even just walk around the house and go up and down the stairs. So
okay.
Yeah, so Alex started out in our Leeds clinic, and that was a new clinic that we were establishing. Yeah, so while Hannah saw her first patient in Huddersfield, she was working in an already established clinic, and the patients were booking in for initial assessments. So these patients had already made the decision that they wanted help and they were willing to commit and act. So that means that it's a little bit easier to obviously get a patient to buy into a treatment plan and return for the next session and actually go to course to get the results. What we do in Leeds to build a clinic is we show people, we don't tell them. So we know a lot of people are skeptical. They've been let down by physiotherapy, whether that's within the National Healthcare Services or with other clinicians. So we offer what's called a free assessment. And the free assessment is an opportunity to come in for 20 to 30 minutes. We go through a full subjective, a full objective, and Alex essentially would map the treatment plan for the patient. He'll answer the 4 ProSport questions. What's the problem? Why did it happen? What's the plan? Realistically, how long it's going to take? And then the patient at that point, they've got 2 choices. They can either take the plan and implement it themselves, or they can ask us for help and turn into what we would call a full initial assessment and treatment at that point. So obviously for Alex coming in, doing those initial assessments, he was doing a lot of his initial assessments with patients who are coming in for free assessments. So we know that the skepticism is a lot higher with these patients. So in one way, it's a lot more challenging for Alex, because in order for a patient to buy in to a treatment plan, they need to have certainty in the therapist, certainty in the plan, and certainty in themselves.
Okay. You mentioned then kind of walking up the stairs.
Yeah.
How many stairs are you able to do at the moment?
I can do the stairs, it's just sore my calf. So
okay.
I'd say probably next thing would be able to walk up the stairs.
Walk up the stairs, okay. And what are we thinking after that? If you're obviously wanting to get back to the half marathon in May.
Yeah, probably then being able to walk for extended distances.
Okay.
Feeling it.
How long are we thinking, if we're more specific?
I'd walk for an hour, I'd say.
An hour, yeah. Lovely. And then, what are we thinking after that
Probably
one?
run 5k,
Yeah.
and then obviously get into my half marathon training then.
Lovely. So that would obviously consist of like 10Ks and things like that.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Lovely. Are you happy with that plan? Can you see kind of the clear map of how we're going to get you back to training and things?
Yeah.
I think stepping into a busy clinic would have been a lot easier for my confidence, seeing people straight away, being able to put what I learned straight into practice. I think going into an empty diary was hard initially, but it was also nice because I had that time to then go through like the mentorship program and things like that. So on one side of the coin, it was quite hard, but on the other side, it was actually quite useful to have that extra time to do like revision and things. I used to lay this up on my phone, and I'll just show you what I'm going to be doing. because that's your soleus muscles kind of at the bottom, your gastroc at the top. So I'm just going to kind of be pinning and stretching the bottom of the muscle, just to kind of teach that. Is that pressure okay? Yeah. You just let me know if it gets a little bit too much, yeah? Feel that stretching under my thumb? Perfect.
Yeah.
Pressure-wise, okay? Perfect.
It was challenging for Alex because Hannah had started so well. Her first patient, she had converted them to a package of care. Her third patient, so she was pretty much 2 out of 3 of her first patients. She done really well. Then the emails were coming in congratulating Hannah. So it's obviously very challenging for Alex then, because the pressure, so to speak, and the culture is that this is a normal thing that happens in the clinic. So then, from chatting to Shane, I know Alex then was getting a little bit nervous, and all he wanted to do was sell that first package of care. And it was a great feeling when we saw the email come through that he'd managed to do it. And as I said, he didn't just do it from an initial paying assessment. He actually converted a package of care from a free assessment. Now, it's not the package of care that he converted, it's actually the inputs that he'd done in that session that makes me happy. That he had a stranger who was highly skeptical come in, and Alex was able to take a history from the patient, make sense of their story, and map out a value-based transformational treatment plan for that patient. And that patient felt so confident in Alex, in the plan, and in themselves to get the results, that they chose to pay with their wallet up front. And that's really the importance of the package of care. It's a litmus test for us that we know that the patient trusts us, they're willing to go the distance, and now the money is out of the way, they can get their sessions booked in advance. And all that's left now is to actually deliver the result for the patient. So it was an absolutely brilliant achievement for Alex. And then, as always happens, once you get your first patient out of the way and they rebook and turn up, you get your first package of care, that's always the hardest one. And once you get that in place, then the rest follows. And lo and behold, soon after, Alex's next few patients then will convert into packages. And now at the time of recording this, it's just second nature to Alex.
Free assessments is important for the patient because they can figure out if they're actually needing physio before they kind of commit. And it also gives me the opportunity to run through the plan with them. It's about being honest with how long I think it's going to take to sort of get their problem sorted. Building trust is just being open, it's being honest, it's building a plan with them at the centre, what they're wanting to do, what their goals are, what they're wanting to get out of physio. It's just building trust is just listening to what they're wanting to do and adapting my techniques around that. Midfoot on the foam roller, and you're just going to push through this midfoot. Just going to lift this leg up in the air. I want you driving your hips about an inch off of the bed, and you're going to hold it. You should feel this quite a lot in your hamstrings. Let me know how long you can hold that for. We're going to aim for about 10 seconds. If you can do less, let me know. If you can do more, also let me know. How's that feeling in there?
Tough.
Okay. So then come down. Good. So that was about 5 seconds. So what I want you doing at home is about 6 reps of them, so we're getting to that 30-second mark. If you can do that twice a day. Yeah? If you do that again. Good. Feel that working in there? Good. And come back down. Perfect. Just do that a couple more times for me.
We use free assessments because we know people are skeptical. They've been let down before. They've had experiences with other people, and we know that we very much treat differently. We think differently. So free assessments, it's essentially an irresistible offer for people. Now, with free assessments as well, unfortunately, you can attract some time wasters as well. And that's where with the therapist, we have to protect our confidence, because if you have the wrong people coming into the treatment room, it doesn't matter how good the onboarding process was. if it's not the right person and they're not committed, then it can knock the therapist's confidence. So in this period of time, we're watching very, very closely. The admin team are doing a great job as well in screening people before they come into the clinic. So we want to make sure that these people are serious about looking and asking for help, that they don't just want a quick freebie and that they're in it for the wrong reasons, that they're actually serious about their health, they're serious about their goals, and they're committed to their goals. So the admin team are the gate essentially to protect Alex, and that's really where we need that team involvement with these free assessments, so that we protect Alex's confidence. We make sure that the right people are in the room, so that Alex is actually working with people that generally want to be helped. And as I said, we've got a very good admin system and a Head Physio system to not only keep an eye on Alex's numbers and his confidence, but also our admin system and our admin team are a key part of this process as well, in helping us get the first 20 patients a week into the Leeds clinic. And then once we get to 20 patients a week, then, as I said, you can grow that clinic very quickly then, because it becomes more about a patient retention issue rather than a new patient issue once you kind of hit that magic mark of 20 patients.
And what helped you start turning those first conversations into regular patients?
Definitely the trusting aspect of it, so them buying into the plan, them trusting what I'm saying, me kind of obviously returning that trust to them, saying what the problem is, showing them why I think this is the problem. So can you remember this test I've done? Can you remember how this felt? And then, yeah, them just buying into the process, man. I've had a few that I've been seeing from the first week that I'm still seeing bi-weekly now, but we're definitely getting to the end. I've had one in just then who's been with me pretty much since I've been here, and he's doing it a lot better. But yeah, going into it, I was very nervous, I think, about am I doing this right? Is my hands on right? Am I doing sort of things to the right places, etc. I think now it comes a lot easier and a lot sort of, I don't really have to think about it as much. So what I'm thinking is it's going to take us a couple of sessions to get that calf to settle down a little bit and get us walking up the stairs kind of pain-free without feeling it. And after that, it'll probably take us 4 or 5 sessions to get you back to that training and get you to that marathon in May. So it's going to take us about 6 sessions over the 8 weeks. After every session, I like to have a little couple of minutes just to kind of go through if we're on track, and then we can adjust the plan accordingly. But I think for now, if we set the benchmark at 6 sessions and we do that over 8 weeks, I think we'll be well on track to getting you back to that marathon training. But every package I've kind of finished with now, I've got quite bang on with how long they've needed to be. So that's obviously my major confidence booster as well.
So now that Alex has passed his first big milestone, which is his first patients have rebooked, some of his patients have bought a package of care, which is outstanding. The real work begins now, and that's where we're going to really leverage our weekly rhythm as part of our Head Physio system. So now the onboarding essentially has finished its phase 1, which is he spends his time at ProSport. We teach him the system, and now he's gone out into the real world. Phase 2 now is all about making sure that he feels supported as he continues the journey, because the last thing we want to do now is just leave Alex to it and he develops bad habits and his confidence gets knocked. And that's where the weekly Head Physio system becomes so important. But most importantly of all then is the weekly in-service training. And the weekly in-service training then is an opportunity of how we can use his numbers to see what is or what isn't happening in the treatment room and redirect him and give him clarity, focus and confidence moving forward with his patients in the next session.
What feels most different now compared to the first time?
Definitely my confidence, I think, more than anything. I see kind of 3 patients or initial assessments now, and my initial thought is, okay, what's going on? What can I do? I think before it, I was a little bit, I wouldn't say like nervous, but it was my first patients outside of university. So I was a little bit apprehensive initially. I was questioning everything I was doing, whereas now I am trusting myself a lot more.